Welcome back to another video. So as I mentioned before, I actually set up 2 videos that day. This is working out very nicely in my favor with the very small amount of time that I had. And some of it that I bought myself, I was messing around, kind of getting back into trying to do some comic stuff. I know I've said it multiple times. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Believe me, I am. This is just figures from my head, so if you see weird stuff, it is weird stuff. I was just scribbling. I didn't care if it was broken or anything like that. I was just scribbling. So, yep. And I did it around the same time that I did the last figure drawing video. I get really scribbly when I do this. It's actually really, I don't know, it's very nice. It's very fun. I don't know how to explain how freeing it feels to just scribble like this. And I have to be in a specific mood for it to feel that way. So, yeah, fun time getting into that so you can just scribble and feel as chill as you're going to. But yeah, I hope everyone who celebrated Christmas or whatever you celebrated, honestly, I hope you all had a very good time. Mine was pretty good. We had a lot of people over. It was a lot. It's always a lot. And it lasted for a very, very long time, but it was still a pretty good day. It felt like 5 days in one. But yeah. I still actually need to finish putting some things away from then. And I am doing this voiceover on this day when this is going up, so yeah, there's no break in time there. But I have to take some books up because I got a bunch, or maybe all, actually, of the Vampire Hunter D omnibus, so it's a lot, a whole box, and I'm super excited. But as everybody knows who has followed me for a while, I still don't have a bookshelf here. I have like a tiny cubby that I can put roughly 4 to 5 books that I'm reading, like currently reading on, or I suppose in. Yeah. I do have that, so I'll probably stick a couple of the volumes in there. They're pretty thick. Maybe only one will fit for now. But I had bought one a long time ago, secondhand, one of the first ones. Obviously not an omnibus, but just one of the first books. And I thought it was super good. I really like the translation. I feel like if I ever tried to get that good at Japanese, I don't know if anyone knows, but I have studied Japanese for a very long time, and I can read decently, but aside from that, I'm total garbage. So, yeah, it takes a lot of practice. But I feel like that would take me an insane amount of time, and it would be quite a bit, because some of the stuff is a little archaic and intense, and I like it in English a lot. I really like that kind of stuff. I always have, and I've never had an issue with my reading comprehension, even as a kid. I was very clear on what stuff was. I've known a lot of people that said, by the way, this is not weird bragging, this is the way it's been for me, that they would have to read a book later on when they got older and they would understand it more, and I didn't ever really have that experience with books. I just got it, so I don't know why, but that, yeah, probably the only thing that I excelled at ever. Says enough about me, I think. But yeah, really excited about those books. And I got a couple art supplies. I got some Sharpie acrylic markers, like those ones that I've been using, the black and white one that I'd been using, so I'm thrilled to use those. And yeah, a couple art books and a couple comics that I had been missing some volumes in. So excited about that. Yeah, but it was a good day, and everyone seemed to like what we got them, because my sister and I just put our money together, just pulled it together and got stuff for everyone, because again, it's a lot of people. I'm not gonna count, but I'm just gonna roughly say like 13 to 14 people. So if it wasn't that and it was more or less, I'm not gonna count. I'm too tired. It's not gonna happen. I had a headache last night and I was awake for so many hours just with my head hurting, so all I've got is weird brain fuzz, so like a disconnected TV. Uh-oh, someone's here. Hope they're not too loud. But yeah, a lot of scribbling, and I was just messing around. I really enjoy trying to do different body shapes, but when I'm nervous, I definitely seem to default to that thinner, leaner body shape. I think because I saw a lot of those bodies when I was practicing my figure drawing. So, yeah. But that's fine. I don't really mind that I have a default like that. It's something that I'm just more comfortable with. And it gives me a place to start practicing when I'm feeling really out of practice. So, some of the figures I did cut out, they weren't very good. And I think in the moment I didn't feel like I was struggling that much with them because I was feeling okay about it. But then whenever I was rewatching the video, I thought, no one's gonna want to sit here and watch me struggle, even in a time lapse, for that long on something that simple. Yeah, because I'm going so fast that there's not a lot of room to, adjust as you go, which is kind of fine for me when I'm doing this. Not when I'm trying to do more intentional practice, obviously. I think everyone knows that, but I'll tell you anyway. Oh yeah, and we got, we backed the Crooked Moon Kickstarter. If you want to see what was in that box, and I didn't get the super crazy box because it was like $300, and I'm not made of dough, baby. So yeah, we got that. The basic box, I believe, of the Crooked Moon D&D stuff. And my brother unboxed it, so if you want to watch that, you can. You can check it out on his channel, which I pretty much always have linked in my description now. And for Christmas, I got the box of the Crooked Moon Tarot cards, and they're beautiful. In fact, I sat that whole first Christmas evening for a while because my back was killing me, reading through the little booklet. It has a little thing of all of the cards, and that was super fun. So they're very smooth, and they have a shiny edge. I like them a lot. But it's like a folk horror kind of thing. It's got its own world, some really cool creatures, some different classes, and my siblings and I really enjoy playing D&D. We haven't got to play in a while, unfortunately. We used to go out, and when we would see our friends, we would play D&D a bit. But she had another baby, and they've been pretty busy, so we haven't played in a while. Someday, though. I'd really like us to play the Crooked Moon. We really wanted to do it for Halloween, but didn't really happen. I have a feeling people came to our house then, and so we didn't play, but I still wish we would have, because it's been so long and we already made our characters. Do you like this weird bear trap guy? I have no idea why I started drawing. I think I just made a shape and it made me think of that, and so I thought, I'm gonna draw this weird bear trap guy. And I end up giving things this weird lanky body, kind of like the one that I give Rust, in fact. Kind of funny. Every time I draw a weird creature. It's pretty fun. I used to doodle weird little creatures and things on my books, so my sketchbooks, all my homework, loose paper on my skin. I was not supposed to draw on myself, but I did it anyway, which is why eventually my mom was like, if you're going to keep doing it, I'm gonna get gel pens, and then you can only use your gel pens. How about that? That was the understanding we reached. And I think it surprised a lot of people that I didn't go out and get a bunch of tattoos just because he's drawing myself so much. Like, my forearm would just be fully covered in a new drawing pretty often. I wish I had more pictures of things like that, because obviously your memory of it is going to be different than the reality most of the time. But that's okay. I had still been having some issues with, like, laying over poses. So when I drew this, I was kind of thinking about it more as, like, a folded cardboard box when I drew this guy leaning over. And so that's why I created that shadow where it looks like he's very thin. because I was thinking of a cardboard box. I will say I probably should have slowed down just a tiny bit, but when I draw quick like this, and I don't allow myself to think too much during the right time, I think I'm a little bit more free with posing, which is good for me because, yeah, I'm free about very few things. And I can make some interesting or very broken or very uncanny things. And I feel like if you made something with like a horror element, Rust has some weird things in it. His whole story has, a lot of my stories have weird things in it, but in particular I was thinking about his story. There's this weird creature, and I won't read the whole description or anything like that because, one, I'm horrible at reading out loud. I try to read too fast, so it's not great. But yeah, a nasty, horrible beast. And I think if I was drawing fast like this to create the design for that, I could come up with something pretty gross. And I've thought about doing it before. I think I've mentioned it recently. Did I? Or did I just think about it? I don't know. But yeah, I think that one would be really fun to draw. Actually, that whole part where I say it like you know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. There's this whole part where he goes into this like dark area and this creature is there, and it's this crazy, I want to say liminal space, but quite frankly it's so dark I don't know if you would recognize it as such, but it's terrifying. It's really scary, and you're just hearing this thing move, slithering around in the dark, tippy tapping, and yeah, kind of rattling you. And it yeah, I don't know, it's cool. He's like standing on this tile and it's getting really cold, and I just think a lot about how I could draw it out in like comic form, even though for the most part for Rust Story I always thought about just making it a story. Even if I never shared it, I just always thought of finishing it and just having it for myself. But if I ever did make it a comic, one, it would be horrendously long, and two, there would be some parts that I was very excited to draw. We're getting pretty close to the end here. I think I drew some more stuff, but I just cut it out. Once I got tired, that was the end of anything that could have even been interesting to watch. It just turns into like a toddler's scribblings. So yeah, anyway, that was the end. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you thought. Have a good day or night, and bye.